So what is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another zombies video, where today I thought it'd be interesting to go all the way back to Origins to take a look at the Easter eggs we found in that map, what could have given us hints as to what we were seeing in Black Ops 3 Zombies. Remember that the campaign team during Black Ops 2 started to take control of the development side of zombies. We saw the influence in Mob of the Dead, and then later on in Origins. All of the other maps were done by the original Zombies team. Who remembers Jimmy Zelensky? If you remember Jimmy, leave a freaking like rating. But anyway, getting back to the topic of the video. So Jason Blundell told us that in Origins, by the time that, the campaign team were making Origins, they already knew what the ending for Black Ops 3 was going to be. They had set out the whole storyline for Black Ops 3 Zombies before they started working on Origins. Now, as we know, Dr. Monty had a massive influence in Black Ops 3 Zombies, but we never saw him make an appearance before that. In Black Ops 2, BO1 or World at War, Dr. Monty, to us at least, was non-existent. He did exist in the Zombies universe, he was there, he was a character, but he wasn't introduced to us at that time. Although, we may have actually seen hints of him in Origins, but we never knew of him. We didn't know what these hints mean, or what these were telling us, so I thought it'd make an interesting video to go back and just see, or just look at these Easter eggs and these ciphers and go, that's what they meant. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, hopefully you do, leave me a like rating, it is very much appreciated. Make sure you are also subscribed to the channel, and just in case subscriptions don't work, click that little bell notification icon, because oh my god, it'll turn gold, guys. Oh my god, no it won't. If you want to do it, that'd really help me out. Leave a comment as well. If you do, I will feature you in the next video. Here are a couple from the last one. Here we go. So Origins was the last map we had for Black Ops 2, and then we had to wait a whole 2 years, just like now we're going to wait another 2.5 years before we get the next COD, well, the next good one at least. But there was a whole 2-year space between Origins and Shadows of Evil, or the Giant. Now in Origins we had 5 ciphers. The first one was this, and once decoded it says, though Edward's work was integral to our initial analysis of Divinium, the rift between us grows deeper each day. I fear his loyalties lay only with Group 935 and an insatiable desire for yet more devastating weaponry. I myself can no longer continue on this path in all conscience. I think that's how you pronounce that word. Though my actions will inevitably be viewed as treason, I am more concerned with just how Edward will react when I tell him of my contact with the Allies. So we have that one. Now before this, we were never introduced to the word Divinium. Just the word alone, Divinium, in Origins to us was new. Now in Black Ops 3 we've gotten more used to it, we know what that is, know how it links to Dr. Monty 115, so you could already see Origins was the beginning of our Black Ops 3 Zombies storyline. The end of Origins was the beginning of Black Ops 3, where we set off with our younger set of characters. They knew their mission, they knew what they have to do. After they teleported away from Origins, Richtofen went to the house of Dr. Monty to meet Maxis to talk about the great plan they had come up together, and then from there they were missing for 2 years, where they finally met in the Giant, where their plan started to come together, and he met up with the other characters. Now this is the second cipher in Origins, and this one is very interesting. It says, the ancients' knowledge is humbling. I find myself questioning not only my understanding of the scientific world, but also the true nature of the universe itself. For the first time in my adult life, I find myself open to the possibility of a higher power. Now this one is interesting because we didn't really know what this meant, and this can actually link into Dr. Monty. Remember that Dr. Monty wasn't introduced to us in Origins, we had hints towards him, and one of those hints was the red scarf. There was, just for some random reason, at that time we didn't know, but as you can see there was a red scarf on a post in Origins. It was just random, it was really out there, the colour doesn't fit in with the rest of the map. We then went over to the Giant and we saw this red scarf again. But in the Giants, we still didn't know what this meant because Dr. Monty wasn't formally introduced to us until Gorod Korovi Revelations. But this red scarf was Dr. Monty's. This was him giving us a sign. This was a way of him telling us that he was in existence, that, because of what we did on Origins, because we opened the portal in the end, us doing that caused Dr. Monty to become involved in the storyline. He had been watching over our characters for years and years before, just letting us get along with whatever we had to do, but because we opened the portal in Origins, Dr. Monty said, this is enough, enough is enough, I have to now get involved or you guys are going to mess everything up. That red scarf was to indicate that Dr. Monty was about to become present. That was to show that he was there. And we have this cipher telling us from what I presume is Maxis, saying that for the first time in my adult life, I find myself open to the possibility of a higher power. Is that higher power he was talking about Dr. Monty? I think it is. I mean, he can basically control everything. To me, Dr. Monty is God. He is like the godly figure of the zombies universe. He can control the mystery box, he controls what perks we have. He created a universe, he created his perfect universe, so he is the higher power in zombies, and that's what Maxis was talking about. Before Origins, because he is a scientist, as you would think, scientists don't tend to believe in a religion, so Maxis also didn't. But by the time Origins came around, he started to believe in the possibility of a higher power being Dr. Monty. So that's something that we didn't know before, but we can kind of link together now. Then we have the third cipher in Origins, which once decoded, it says, from his very first day studying at Heidelberg, Edward displayed an intellect and maturity well beyond his years. However, the impact of his parents' death has affected him deeply. Though I have tried to provide him with a sort of fatherly figure, I fear his choices may be increasingly influenced by his newfound friends within Group 935. The final one was this. I know some would think me mad, but I am nevertheless forced to conclude that Samantha may be the key to everything. For reasons that I struggle to comprehend, it appears that she somehow holds domain over this realm, and we know because at the beginning of Origins, Maxis, he didn't have a daughter. In 1918, Samantha physically wasn't born. It was only in the late 1930s, I believe, that Samantha was born. Origins was in 1918, so she shouldn't have existed then. But as we know, she came back in time to Origins and spoke to Maxis. She told him that, she was his daughter. Maxis, of course, didn't believe her because she wasn't supposed to be born. But eventually, when Samantha began to convince him, telling him all these things that, only Maxis knows about himself, Maxis eventually realized that Samantha was his daughter, and he began to listen to what she had to say. And then, of course, we had the Origins scrap piece of paper. We saw this, we put it together. It was an image of Primus. This at the time to us was very new, but we really had little understanding of what this meant. We thought that maybe these are the original Primus characters that defeated the Apothecans for the first time, and we were right, but little did we know that the beginning of our zombie storyline would also be the end. And exactly 2.5 years later, 3 years later, in Revelations, we see this exact image, but we see it at the end of zombies being our characters. So there we go. I thought it'd be very interesting to take another look at it. I mean, it's worth it since we now know a lot more about zombies. Hopefully, if I enjoyed the video, if you could leave me a like rating, as always, it's very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you want to see some more zombies videos. I love to look back at the older things. It's really exciting. Leave a comment and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.